This is Real Estate Radio. The Erik Hatch team is highly motivated, innovative, and knowledgeable for all things real estate. This is Real Estate Radio.
Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, real estate fans, everyone else tuning in. Thanks so very much for turning your dial to Real Estate Radio this morning. I'm your host, Erik Hatch of Hatch Realty. We're located at 1205 16th Avenue South in Fargo. That is on the corner of 16th Avenue South and University Drive. So if you go to Dwayne's House of Pizza for some greasy, wonderful pizza, why don't you head down and buy a house over your break as well? There's nothing better than greasy pizza and real estate. In fact, that's kind of my motto with life. Two things that I love dearly. At the top of the hour, I want to share with you a wonderful success story for some clients up in North Fargo. I'm going to use ambiguous names. We're going to call them Jack and Jill because they have pretty specific names that people would be able to pick out, and I care a lot about my clients' anonymity. But Jack and Jill had a house to sell. They tried to sell it on their own. The run of for sale by owner is oftentimes something that people try to do, and they simply struck out. They were annoyed and bothered by all of the droves of people who were coming in and in a sense trying to lowball them an offer. They had an offer the first week that they put it on the market, and it was like $30,000 under what they were asking, and so they were pretty frustrated with it. Decided to give Hatch Realty a call. So we headed to their house, talked about what it would take to get it sold, and within 2 weeks, we got them way more than what that other offer was asking. Even after realtor fees and everything else, we put an extra serious amount of cash in their pocket because there is a huge difference between selling for sale by owner, trying to do it on your own, and hiring a realtor. And not only hiring a realtor, but hiring the right realtor, somebody who knows the market, who's going to price it right, who's going to help you stage it properly, and then who's going to show it off in the proper ways. All those marketing channels are inherently important, and so make sure that no matter what you do, no matter how you go about this, when it comes time to sell a house, make the right choice in who you decide to hire. Of course, I'd love the opportunity to interview to earn your business. We could chat, talk about what it's going to take, and what we can do to provide you an exemplary experience. So let's get in conversation. 369-4839. Again, 701-369-4839. Or as always, head to livefargomorehead.com. But first things first, let's find out what's happening with real estate news this week.
Hatch Realty has made the list of contenders for Fargo's Best Of. For the second year in a row, Erik Hatch has been nominated as the best realtor in the Fargo-Moorhead area by The Forum. Hatch took home the title in 2013 and has made the list of the top 5 realtors again for 2014. In addition, Hatch Realty has been nominated for the best real estate company in the FM area, as well as the best small business to work for. Hatch Realty opened their doors in January of 2014, making these nominations all the more exciting for Erik and his team. To vote, simply head to inforum.com. That's INFORUM.com. And that's what's making real estate news this week. You're listening to Erik Hatch with Real Estate Radio.
Breaking in, shaping up. Last week, I got to experience one of the coolest opportunities of my life. I was asked by a friend to help with the North Dakota BBQ Championships. It took place out at Shields Home and Hardware on 13th Avenue in Fargo, and myself and 17 other judges were forced to volunteer to eat 24 servings of meat. I want to repeat that we had to eat 24 servings of meat. I think that when judges traditionally go about doing something like this, in eating an abundance of whatever it may be, they're supposed to sample. And I think people probably told me I was supposed to sample and nibble, but instead I just ate. And I ate and I ate and I ate, and I didn't feel so good afterwards. But it was so fun to be able to judge and help find the best barbecuers in the state of North Dakota. In addition, I never get tired of tailgating. Yesterday was an incredible experience again. I think of game day a few weeks ago for the NDSU Bison, and there's just a lot of incredible yet weird opportunities in this community that traditionally revolve around eating, it seems to be, which is okay with me. It's something I do really, really well. Now, our community has this weird energy to it, and Fargo has become a famous community as of late. If there's a top 10 list out there, it seems as though Fargo seems to make it. Best place for young people to start, best place for people to be happy, best small business town. We're making the list on almost everything in every category. And so whether it be the BBQ Championships, whether it be tailgating or whatever it is, people who are listening right now might be in Fargo, and you may say, yeah, I love this city too. You know, I grew up in Fargo, and staying in Fargo, going to NDSU back when I graduated high school, it was almost seen as like, well, he couldn't make it other places. He wasn't able to successfully stay in he wasn't successfully able to go to another place, and so he chose to stay in Fargo because, well, he settled. And that is no longer the energy that people seem to give. I'm only speaking of my experience, but now if you choose to go to NDSU or MSUM or Concordia, people are elated, thinking, oh man, you made it. You got into one of those great schools. And they've always been great schools, but there was always a negative energy around Fargo that it was almost for shame if you stayed here. But now there's something special about this community. If you don't live in Fargo and you're listening right now, I have to tell you, you're missing out on this great place to live. I love our community. I celebrate our community. This is a really special place, and you don't understand it. I couldn't put into words and define what makes this place so great. It simply is an energy, and it's downright incredible to be a part of the Fargo-Moorhead community. So I'm thankful to be here. I know that my real estate business and my life wouldn't be near as jovial as what it is right now. So I want to say thank you for those of you who helped make the Fargo community so great. If you don't live here and you're thinking about coming, or even if you're in the surrounding community, let's find out a way to make this home for you at 369-4839, or as always, head to livefargomoorhead.com. It's time now for the Erik Hatch Team's Picks of the Week here on Real Estate Radio. Each week we're giving up all these great opportunities for you to jump on board with some screaming deals, some incredible homes, and 3 homes today have made the list of places I gotta tell you about. We're gonna start with, oh my goodness, one of the most incredible homes I've ever listed out in Glendon, 14445 Highway 10 in Glendon. We're talking, this house is sitting on 6 acres. It has another 26 acres available if you want some radical space. But it's not just the outside that I'm excited about. Yes, the acreage is great. This giant wraparound 900 square foot deck is great. But what I love about this house is the layout. 8-foot high doors. And if you haven't experienced a home with 8-foot high doors, you wouldn't believe how grand it feels. An 11-foot tall ceiling everywhere. This house is newly built back in 2011. And the most exciting thing about it is that for this over 3,000 square foot Rambler, the average energy bills for a year, I'm talking 12 months, is between $500 and $600. It has geothermal heating and cooling, and you will basically save yourself hundreds, if not thousands of dollars each year just based on the heating and cooling. Now, outdoors, you'll fall in love with all the space. Inside, over 3,000 square feet of chic and fabulous living, bamboo floors, quartz and Corian countertops. It is splendid, to say the least. $600,000 is this house, 14445 Highway 10 in Glendon. Now, staying on the Minnesota side of things, we're at 2005 8th Street South. This is pretty close to college campuses, and yet this house is exquisitely decorated. It's been rehabbed. It's been refurbished. New kitchens, new bathrooms, beautiful hardwood floors, everything that you want to the nines for just $165,000. Really hard to pass up on this one. It's going to fly off the shelves. And finally, if you're looking for a deal, if you're looking for a lot of house for a little cash, let's head over to Fargo at 6142 23rd Street South in Fargo. 6142 23rd Street South. This great bi-level home offers you ample living space. We're talking 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, 2-stall garage, and just for $150,000. You can't go wrong with this. And these 3 houses, yes, we're covering different areas and different price points. There's a lot more out there because the getting is good right now for people. Don't miss out on your opportunity. So check out all these houses by heading to livefargomorehead.com, or for your own personal showing, give us a call at 369-4839. Now stick around. We'll have a lot more after the break. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.
Stick around. More Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch after this. This is Real Estate Radio. The Erik Hatch team is highly motivated, innovative, and knowledgeable for all things real estate. This is Real Estate Radio.
I just finished a couple of days ago teaching the first-time home buyers class with the Village. I've had Morgan on air with us a handful of times now, and he is energetic and exciting. He teaches this first-time home buyers class for people who are considering buying a home. They get some nice incentives, and they get some additional massive amounts of information on how they can buy and the best way to do so. So I jump in, and they bring in all these different types of people, everyone from home inspectors to lenders to insurance providers, to talk about the risk and the reward, things that people need to know. And then I get to come in and talk about real estate, talk about the joy of what's there. And this is going to feed its way in just a little bit. Simply put, real estate is a sound business investment. It doesn't mean it's right for your life. It doesn't mean it's right for your lifestyle or for your family, but real estate is a sound business investment. I want to share with you some of the numbers with that. The average sales price this year in Fargo is $189,000. I'm going to round up to $200,000 because that's easier math for me to do in my head. At $200,000, we can expect, according to the national government, the house to appreciate between 4 and 5% a year if it follows a national average of appreciation. So if you're going to buy a house for $200,000, you can do so traditionally for about 5% down. So that means $10,000 needs to go down. You're actually going to need $10,000 in cash to purchase your house. Now, at $200,000, the average person lives in their house for 9 years. That's not always true of first-time home buyers. I want you to think of maybe your grandparents who didn't move for 50 years, and then you also think of people who move every couple of years. So the average of all that is at 9 years. So if you buy a $200,000 house and you put $10,000 down, after just 1 year, if your property appreciates like it's supposed to, it's going to appreciate $10,000. The second year, another 10. In fact, it's more than 10 because now if your home's worth $210,000 and it's appreciating 5%, it's now appreciating $10,500. But I'm just going to use that even number of $10,000. Easiest way to do it. So if you live in your house 8 years, your house is going to appreciate $80,000. In addition, you've put down $10,000 on your house, and then you've paid down your mortgage over 8 or 9 years. You're going to pay down your mortgage, I'd say, $30,000, give or take. It depends on how aggressive you get in the life of your loan. But if I do that math, and if I simply put that together, your $200,000 investment, which costs you $10,000 out of pocket, that $10,000 original investment now has earned you $80,000 in appreciation, and you've paid down your mortgage $30,000, plus you had a $10,000 input there in the first place. So your original investment of $10,000 is now worth $120,000. You're sitting on a home that's now worth $280,000, $290,000, $300,000 in that range. And then the best part is you should have some serious cash in the bank, at least if you're smart about it. Most people around here are pretty conservative with their money, so we don't see people who are upside down and struggling with their mortgages. Those certainly happen, and we're happy to help, but we see a lot of cash in people's pocket. So real estate as an investment is a really sound move. If you want to jump on board, let's talk at 369-4839 or head to livefargomorehead.com. Real estate for your own personal purchase for you to live in, as we just covered, is a sound investment. But I want to talk to those of you out there who have hopes and dreams of investing in the future. In a month, I'm going to be a dad. I mean, it could happen tomorrow, but my wife is due November 9th. It's around the corner, and I'm focused more than ever on how to create wealth for my family. And so we've talked about investment properties and how that could be a ticket to wealth. We're going to go through some numbers again. I hope you can follow along. But in order to purchase a sound investment property, I'd look to purchase something about $120,000, and for it to be maybe near NDSU would be a good strategy. So if that's the case, to purchase an investment property, you have to put down 20%. So we'd look at a $24,000 original investment. Now, if you're in an investment group with 2 or 3 or 4 people, you can certainly break that up and it's less cash out of pocket to begin. Now, if a home is worth $120,000, traditionally the rule of thumb is that you want to charge 1% of the home's value at minimum in order for you to have a great return on your investment. So if the home is $120,000, you're going to want to charge at least $1,200 a month in rent, which is pretty standard near NDSU. So if you're charging that, and if you're on a 20-year mortgage at a 5% interest rate, which again is pretty common in investing, a 20-year mortgage, 5% interest rate, your payment, even with taxes and specials and insurance, is going to be, I'm going to say $825, $850. We'll say $850. So at $850, if you're charging $1,200 a month for rent, you're profiting $350 a month. Let me say that again. You're profiting $350 a month. Over the course of a year, that's over $4,000. Now, it's never that easy because a furnace goes out, a tenant doesn't pay you, they trash the place, the roof leaks. Those are all things that are going to cut into all your profit for years. But if you find solid renters, if you find a solid house, if you're making $4,000 a year on your house, and then if rent is increasing exponentially over the course of 20 years for your kids, for your retirement, that $4,000 has now accumulated to be $80,000 to $120,000 in profit. Now, when that time is up, if that $120,000 investment has made you $80,000, $100,000, $120,000, in addition, you're going to be paying off your mortgage in 20 years. So that $120,000 house is paid off in 20 years, and at that point, you're probably charging $2,000 a month for rent. So now you're profiting $24,000 a year just from rent. In addition, you're going to have a house that you own outright. And if a house basically doubles in value every 20 years, I'm going to expect that a $120,000 house is now worth $240,000. So let's do that math quickly. If you own a house and an investment property for 20 years with the right numbers, you'll make up to $120,000 in profit over that 20-year time frame. And in addition, you're going to own outright a home for $240,000. That's $360,000 from your original investment of $24,000. On top of that, you're then going to profit $24,000 a year, barring any major expenses and any major uh-ohs. Long story short, my friends, is that if you're thinking about building wealth for the future, for your family, for your retirement, whatever it may be, real estate is the way to do so. 3/4 of the world's wealth is tied up into real estate. The people who are vesting in their future are using real estate to get there. So whether you are looking to buy or sell, if you want to move up, if you want to move down, if you want to make this an absolute possibility and this dream become a reality, you and I should talk. 369-4839, or again, head to livefargomorehead.com. Check out what's available on the market. Find out how you can save up to $1,000 on each of your real estate transactions, and realistically learn a little bit about who you're going to be working with. Again, I'd love the opportunity to work with you to help make this possible. We can crazily change your life with real estate. Let's have a great conversation. Again, head to livefargomorehead.com. And I want to say thank you so much for tuning in again to Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Erik Hatch, on the Mighty 790 KFGO. 'Cause I'm gonna make this